All right, let's talk about one of the biggest rivalries in the NFC North, Packers versus Vikings. This is a huge game, and when you really break it down, there are three key reasons that all point to Green Bay having a serious edge. So let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first. Let's be clear about what's on the line here. The stakes, they're massive. For Green Bay, this is pretty much a make-or-break situation. You win this one, your playoff hopes are very much alive. You lose, the season could go into a complete tailspin. So yeah, this is way more than just another rivalry game. It's a moment that could define their entire season.
All right, so where does Green Bay's biggest advantage really lie? Well, it all starts with the most important position in football, right? The quarterback. And when you look at the two guys under center in this game, man, it is a tale of two completely different worlds.
And look, the numbers really just speak for themselves here. It's a pretty stark contrast, isn't it? You've got Jordan Love playing super efficiently, sitting comfortably in the top 10 in the entire league for completion percentage, and then you've got the rookie, J.J. McCarthy, who is, well, he's dead last. Not near the bottom, dead last. That gap in just basic consistency, that gives Green Bay a massive advantage before the ball is even snapped.
And hey, it's not just us looking at the stat sheet. Even the guys on the other side of the ball see it. You hear Packers safety Xavier McKinney talking about it. He says, look, he's a young quarterback. He's going to make mistakes. He's going through those rookie growing pains. It's a professional way of saying, we know we can get to this guy. That's a really telling comment.
So let's really dig into what those growing pains look like. We're talking an interception in every single start he's made. He's actually thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, and if you look at the advanced stats, he's last, again, dead last in turnover-worthy plays. And maybe the most worrying part for the Vikings, it's not getting better, it's actually getting worse. His completion percentage has cratered to just over 51% in the last 3 games. The bottom line here is simple. He's a turnover machine, just waiting to happen.
Okay, so that brings us to reason number 2. And this is where it gets really interesting, because we're moving from a player mismatch to a schematic one. We're talking about Jordan Love going up against the one thing the Minnesota Vikings defense is famous for, the blitz.
Just look at this number for a second. Almost 44%. That's how often the Vikings blitz. And to be clear, that's not just a high number. It is the highest rate in the entire NFL, and it's not even close. This is their whole identity. Their D coordinator, Brian Flores, is going to bring the house, and he's going to do it all game long. It's just who they are.
So the obvious question here is, how in the world is Jordan Love supposed to survive that? I mean, facing that kind of pressure, snap after snap, is a total nightmare for any QB. How is he possibly going to handle this all-out assault?
Well, this is the kicker. This is the big twist in the story. He doesn't just survive the blitz, he absolutely thrives against it. When defenses try to get aggressive and send extra guys, Jordan Love turns into one of the best quarterbacks in football. We're talking 6th in the league in passer rating, 4th in touchdowns, and get this, he's only thrown one single interception against the blitz all season long. It's his quick reads, his fast release. He actually makes defenses pay for being so aggressive.
And you know it's a legitimate threat when you hear the Packers' own coach, Matt LaFleur, call it a real challenge. He knows how tough this scheme is to face. And that's what makes Love's success so incredible. You've got a situation where the Vikings' greatest strength on defense plays directly into one of Jordan Love's biggest strengths as a quarterback. That's a fascinating matchup.
Which brings us to our third and final point. And honestly, this might be the one that decides the whole thing. We're talking about the turnover battle. Because in a tight, nasty divisional game like this one, it almost always comes down to who takes care of the football and who doesn't.
And look, this isn't just some old coach speak cliche. It's a cold, hard fact. Just look at the numbers for the whole league this season. If you win the turnover differential, you win the game. The record is 101-25. That's an 80% win rate. It is hands down the most reliable way to predict who's going to win on any given Sunday.
So where do the Vikings fall in this incredibly important category? They are sitting at -9. That puts them at 31st in the NFL, literally second to last. The analysis I was reading described it as a dumpster fire trapped in a volcano. And well, yeah, that kind of paints the picture, doesn't it?
And this chart right here shows you exactly why that number is so bad. They've given the ball away 18 times. 18. And their defense? They've only managed to take it away 9 times. I mean, do the math. They are literally giving the ball away twice as often as they take it back.
You just can't win football games that way. It's completely unsustainable.
But what's really wild is how big of a drop-off this is. Get this. Just last season, this same Vikings defense was a turnover machine. They were tied for first in the league in takeaways. This year, that magic has just vanished. They've gone from first all the way down to 31st in interceptions. It's a total collapse on the defensive side, which just makes the offense's problems a million times worse.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. Let's recap the 3 big keys that point to a Packers victory.
First up, you've got the huge advantage at quarterback. It's Jordan Love's top-tier efficiency against J.J. McCarthy's constant struggles. Second, you've got the matchup advantage. The Vikings love to blitz, but that's exactly what Jordan Love excels against. And finally, the turnover crisis. Minnesota is one of the worst teams in the league at protecting the football, and Green Bay is in a perfect position to capitalize.
So look, on paper, the evidence is pretty compelling, right? It all points to a Packers win. But we all know games aren't won on paper, especially not a bitter rivalry game like this. The question is, will the game actually follow the script, or does the field have a surprise in store for us? I guess we're all going to have to watch to find out.